Hello and welcome back to another installment of Poke Fodder. And today I'm going to do something a little bit different than what I've normally done. What I'm going to do is I pre-recorded a match, and the deck you see here is actually, it's my main account, but this is the deck that my alt account is running. And what I did is, since I knew I was going to do a video like the one that I'm doing today, I just decided I'd throw just a random deck together, which is my alt deck, and then play a game, record it, but then talk about what it is that I wanted to talk about over the game, not really focusing on the gameplay. The gameplay is just there for your enjoyment so that it's not just me talking for the next 20 minutes or so. I'm going to load up the game, and then I'll go into what it is that I want to discuss. And it's something that has kind of come to the forefront of Pokemon Duel. We'll be right back. So what I want to talk about was a post that was written on Reddit, one of the Reddit forums. Basically, the gist of the post was that somebody in, I believe it was high school, was doing a project on addiction. And he was I believe it was he or she was a Pokemon Duel player, didn't know that there were other Pokemon Duel players in their class, when lo and behold, a fellow classmate does a report on addiction and gambling as it relates to Pokemon Duel. Kind of an interesting concept that I'd never really put one and one together and come up with that answer. During this project, the presenter showed clips of different Pokemon Duel YouTube players, content creators, we'll say, and their reactions to pulling boosters. As far as I know, I was not mentioned in that. Maybe the reason was because that when I open boosters, I typically don't do them live. I just record the boosters. I'm not going to talk about each booster as I open them, but I kind of feel like that was one reason why maybe I wasn't mentioned. Maybe I was mentioned and I just don't know about it. But there were others who actually have face cams, and their reaction to not getting the Pokemon that they want when opening booster packs. And I will tell you, I'm as guilty as the next person of getting frustrated when opening booster packs and there's nothing good in there that I want. It happens way more often than what I would like. At the same time, because I don't have a face cam and because I do like flash forwards and pump up the music a little bit when I do my booster openings, you, the audience, don't get to see my reactions. Now, here's the thing, because the report wasn't necessarily about boosters, it was about addiction and gambling addictions. And I believe even Chicken talked about this a little bit on his kind of farewell or the future of PoDu video that he did a few days ago. Not so much with retrospect to this project, but you know, at its root, there is a core element of gambling involved with Pokemon Duel. You are putting up front a currency in exchange for the chance to pull specific Pokemon. And I'm not going to debate the value proposition of your coin, your money to gems. That's for you to debate to see if you feel that it's worth it or not. But the developers of this game knew exactly what they were doing. Everybody loves the rush of the unknown. So what happens is you buy gems or you collect gems if you're free to play. And if you're free to play, you save your gems for a long time. And you have probably, we'll just say with this specific booster, there is Tapu Lele, Tapu Lele, and Solgaleo, which are the two EX Pokemon. There are no EX Pokemon. There's a couple rares and a couple of uncommons that are new to this booster. Chances are, if you're buying coins and opening booster packs, or buying gems and opening booster packs, or you're using the gems that you've saved up as a free-to-play player, you're wanting the new Pokemon. So what happens is you get this rush, this maybe adrenaline kick. I don't know what it is, but it's the same rush as somebody who puts 5, 10, 25, whatever, dollars down on blackjack. I totally get the correlation, and I have never thought about Pokemon Duel as being gambling. But what happens? You put your 200 gems at risk for a quad pack, and you pull 3 uncommons and a rare that you already have. Well, now that high that you had feels awful. And on some level, you're resentful. And I know that everybody is guilty of this, because on my Discord, I've seen countless number of people posting their quads and then feels bad man, or this sucks, or rip, any of those adjectives that you want to use to describe the pull that they had. And it does suck when the banner, like right now, doesn't have a lot new to it. Your chances of getting something new are really low. For the EXs, I think it's 0.5%, which means if my math is right here, and it is 0.5%, you're going to pull 200 statistically before receiving an EX. 200? 200 things, and you get 4 each, and 4 goes into 100, I don't know how many, 20 times? No, not even 20. 4 goes into 125 times. That should have been a really easy one to do. So 25 quad packs is statistically what it's going to take to get 1 EX. And that doesn't even count if you get a duplicate EX for one you already have. And I can't do the math on how many you have to pull to statistically guarantee that you will get one of the new EXs, but it's really low. And so what happens is you spend more gems and pull again. And I will say that I am guilty of this. I have pulled packs, like I've set aside and said, okay, I'm willing to spend this much on this banner, and pulled and not gotten the Pokemon that I wanted, to the new ones. So whether I wanted it to add to my collection or I wanted to do a video on, I didn't get it. And I've gone over my budget. Now that being said, I don't max out the 50,000 points, but I have spent more than I wanted to at times. And that just means that later down the road, I will spend less on a banner. And it has kind of worked out, because there are some banners where I have pulled everything that I wanted super fast and been like, cool. Don't have to, don't have to keep pulling more for this banner, and I will save what I have left in gems. But that's not always the case. So I feel like there's actual merit to the post of, you can get addicted to Pokemon Duel. Now, I'm not going to say the game itself, but the style of game where you put forth money with the chance of pulling a figure. And the developers know exactly what they're doing. This is not new, and this is a basic fundamental of humans, I believe. They have found a way to trigger an endorphin rush, which is the hope of getting something that you want. And I'm not talking about Pokemon Duel specific here. I'm talking about these, they're called gacha games, just in general. They release something new, and by nature, people have to have whatever's new. And whatever's new is typically stronger and better than what was old. So, what ends up happening, as humans, we want the latest and greatest, nothing new there. But then there's the gambling aspect of it, where you're not guaranteed to get the Pokemon that you want, and then you feel bad. So you go from, I have to have this, it's new, it's great, to, oh my god, I'm super excited, I hope I pull this, let me open these quads, to, oh my gosh, that sucks, I didn't get the ones that I wanted. And then the feeling of not pulling the ones that you want is very, very strong. I've played poker in my life. And if you guys have ever seen the movie Rounders with Matt Damon, or if you know anybody who is a professional poker player or gambler for a living, it is a very, very true statement that Matt Damon's character makes in the movie, where he can't remember, and I'm loosely quoting this is not an exact quote, but he's built up a bankroll of about $30,000 that he wants to take to Vegas. And he admits he cannot remember how he built up his bankroll. As humans, we don't remember the good things. They're not as impactful one way or the other as the bad things. Now, his character goes on to say that he can remember with amazing detail and accuracy every one of his bad beats. And if you don't play poker, basically a bad beat is, to equate it in Pokemon Duel terms, a bad beat would be when your Mew loses to Blaziken. Not just gets stalled by him, but flat out loses. That would be a bad beat. If Blaziken rolls his 130 onto your Mew white. And that feeling of rejection is strong. I totally get it. And it's kind of made me take a step back and think, am I addicted to Pokemon Duel? The answer to me is no, I'm not addicted to Pokemon Duel. And I've said this many, many times. If I were not doing content creation, I don't think I would really spend any money on this game. And I've said that a lot before. Maybe with the big gym sales, maybe I'd throw, the $7.99 deal. Those seem to be pretty decent for the established rate of gems. But to me, it's just not worth it. The new Pokemon are nice, but you don't have to have them. There are plenty of decks that you can have that will take you very, very far. And I'm actually even running a free-to-play account just to see. Now, I will say that I'm not putting all of my time and all of my energy into my free-to-play account. I kind of play to open my boosters, play for the dailies, and just kind of leave it at that. But my account is climbing. It's doing fine. I'm 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks into it. And I feel like if you were free to play, but it's your only account, then you're probably a lot further along progression than I am. I haven't even done all the hotels. There's still the beginner sex tuple packs available to me that I haven't purchased with my gyms yet because I just don't have enough. But if you were grinding out that account and that was your main account, you would do all the hotel quests. And the game makes it fairly easy to get caught up to speed. Now, do I think you're going to be in the top 100 and be completely free to play? I think it's possible. I think your odds are very slim. I think when it comes down to it and you get to that high of a level, that you're going to find you miss out on some wins that maybe you would have had if you had chain levels. But if you don't care about being in the top 10 or top 50, if being in the top 1,200, 2,000, whatever it is that gets you 1,500, whatever gets you the 20 tickets and the 100 Carmenite, I think you can absolutely positively enjoy the game, have fun with the game, and still finish within that threshold and be completely free to play. So this was all something new that I just didn't think about. And so, like, I don't want you to quit watching PokeFodder, but kind of have a look inside. Have a talk with yourself. Ask yourself, am I addicted to Pokemon Duel? And addiction could be more than just spending money that you don't have on the game. It could also be, is Pokemon Duel taking over your life? Now, on my Discord, there was somebody who approached me asking me if they could sell their account. And I told him, I was like, well, you know, post it up if anybody wants to buy it. I don't want to personally get involved with that transaction, but my Discord is a community-based Discord for Pokemon Duel. And I think, you know, if somebody wants to try to get rid of their account, then that's between two players. I'm not going to get personally involved with it, but I can see where my Discord would be an opportunity for that forum. Just as, you know, I set up my own tournaments. It's just to kind of help build up the community. Anyway, the person said basically they felt like they were playing too much and that it was interfering with their life. And you know what? I applaud you. If that's how you feel, and in order for you to be the best form of you that there is, you have to give up Pokemon Duel. I personally hate to see you leave as a viewer, as somebody who adds to the conversation on the Discord, but I totally 100% respect your decision to do what is in your best interest and to know when you've had enough and it's interfering with your life. I'm really interested to hear what your personal opinions are on this topic, because like I've said a few times in my video, I've never thought of it as gambling, and I've never thought of it as an addiction. And the Reddit post made me stop and think. So I'm asking you guys, and don't leave your comments here. Head over to my Discord. As always, there's links in the description below. Tell me what you think. Be honest with yourself. Are you addicted to Pokemon Duel? There is no shame in addictions. One of the things about drug addicts and alcoholics and gamblers is they feel like they're alone. And if you feel like you have an addiction, you are not alone in any way, shape, or form. And I will, in fact, put a link to some resources in my description for 800 numbers to call or websites to visit if you feel like you have an addiction. There's nothing to be ashamed of if you have an addiction. It is a chemical thing in your brain. And I'm not an expert So I'm not going to try to diagnose people, but just know that A, you're not alone. And the reason why, what I was going to say is gamblers, alcoholics, sex addicts, anybody who's addicted to something, they don't come forward and they hide it because they feel ashamed and they feel like they're alone and no one's going to understand. And I'm telling you right now, if you want to reach out to me personally on my Discord and talk, and you have an addiction and you just need someone to talk to, tag me. Our conversation will be confidential. If I see anybody who wants to have a conversation on my Discord, talk about this, and get bullied, made fun of, I will ban the other person on the spot, and I will let my moderators know. That is not tolerated. At the same time, I want to have an open conversation about this because it is something that seems like it is in dark corners and hiding in places that people don't like to talk about. And I want this to be a fun game for people. I want people to enjoy playing the game. I want them to find fulfillment in the community, but I don't want it to be an addiction. So that's going to do it for I don't want to say it's my soapbox, but that's going to kind of be the end of this video's discussion on the topic. It's a hard topic to talk about, but sometimes in life, hard topics need to be talked about. So I hope that if you are addicted, you find the help you need. I hope you will continue to use PokeFodder as a resource to help you get to where you can enjoy the game and enjoy being part of the community. And if you just can't do it and live a normal life, I totally get it, and I respect you more for being able to make that decision. I did happen to win that game. Happy about that. Let's continue this conversation on Discord. But for now, until next time.